I was contemplating if I should really share this journey right here, this ayahuasca trip report, because it's nothing special, but I thought it's part of the journey. So, welcome to this video and the second part of my Today Ayahuasca retreat with Manesh. You can watch the first video right here. This is where all the juicy insights happen. This is where the juicy stuff happens. This is where the intense love flowed in. But the second night came and I was a bit afraid, I would have to say, facing that. So, first of all, welcome, I'm Virgo. This is Psychedelic Actualization. I love to help psychonauts find and actualize their life purpose. And I wrote an ayahuasca preparation workbook. If you want to prepare for your ayahuasca experience, you can download that. Link is in the video description. And let's get straight into the journey, and I'll try to keep my pace fast. So, because this first night gave me everything I was asking for, and even more, and more, and more, and so much more than I asked for, I was like, I'm done. Like, I could leave this retreat now and I'm totally good. I'm totally fine. And then I was a little bit like nervous of like, okay, so then what's gonna come the next night? What's gonna come up? And that was a bit scary because also I remembered back to my 14-day ayahuasca retreat, to my most intense ayahuasca experience where I was facing death. You can watch the trip report right here. It's a really interesting one. It's a long one, but this ceremony showed me kind of this facing of death in a very tough way, in a very intense way, and I was completely losing all touch with physical reality. And it was a bit like the fear was coming up again of like, okay, if everything's done and I got all the love and all the insights and all the clarity last night, so if I go deeper, am I gonna approach that space again? Is it gonna be one of those nights where it's gonna push me absolutely to the edge? And I was not feeling ready to go there. So, nevertheless, the day happened and you're sitting in the Mauka at night, right? And you're like, okay, ready to go. Kind of, it's throughout the day, it's this process of deepening the trust, deepening the opening, not trying to resist going into the next experience. And it was good. It was okay. It was nothing too special, but it was still a very interesting and valuable night. So I went in, drank. It was 3/4 of a cup of the Brazilian brew, and then Manesh put like 1/4 of a cup of Peruvian brew on top. It's a little bit of a mixture of those, and it was a very slow come up, slow come up. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna drink 1 cup. I'm not gonna drink more because I don't feel ready to even push even deeper, because this last night was completely pushing me even to my edge. Not fully to the edge, but it definitely was enough challenge for a weekend for me, for myself and for my taste. So, and then the first night when it was slowly arriving, I felt it in my body, I felt it in my mind. I was grappling with it. I was grappling with the medicine, like little bit of resistance, a lot of thinking, a lot of thoughts, a lot of circling around in my head, trying to be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm open for your teaching. And then I couldn't like kind of grasp the teaching, and then I was like, okay, I'm happy. I can enjoy this. I'm satisfied with this experience, right? The teaching from the last night, appreciation, loving every experience. I wanted to deepen that. And I told myself, but I was thinking it. I was not really feeling it in the moment. And that's part of the journey. And I was like contemplating then also a lot about my path, and also the path of the facilitator, because I feel like a strong part of my life calling is kind of to walk this path, right? To facilitate even me maybe in the future. And I'm thinking like long term 20, 30, 40 years into the future, because it's a very serious path. And I was like contemplating even then, because I was so much in my head, because I was not ready to face this fear of death again, or all these things came up for me, right, regarding this path. And also the doubt, right? It's part of the journey. The doubt of like, am I up for this challenge? Is it really something for me? Is it something I can choose? Is it something that happens? How much can I push? This ceremony was all about a deep lesson of balance, a deep lesson of finding my true own balance in this dance of walking this path, of not going in too much into ceremony, being able to integrate, still trying to explore and push and learn. And a lot of this path came up, and a lot of contemplations about how intimidating this path is, how serious this path is. I was not anticipating this when I was 16 and I was like, I'm gonna be a shaman, and now I'm like, do I really want to be that? Whatever that word even means, right? It's a very serious one, and we're gonna have a lot of more talks about this topic on this channel, and also how to approach it with maturity, right? Not to approach it immaturely, because that can lead to a lot of uncomfortable and harmful situations for a lot of other people as well. So it's a long path, right? Also, even in the ceremony, in the ayahuasca experience itself, contemplations came up regarding the plant medicine journey, and also choosing a plant medicine, because I feel a desire a little bit to go into depth with one particular medicine, develop a deeper relationship with it. Because for now I've been dabbling with every single one, and I'm kind of circling through from LSD to mushrooms to changa to DMT to ayahuasca, and maybe there's a few more new ones on the horizon like ibogaine or peyote, and I haven't even explored the whole spectrum. And still there's a desire to pick one and go into depth with it, because then there is a more of a potential, right, to also share this experience with other people if there's more knowledge about one particular realm, because these realms and these experiences of all these substances are quite different. Even though there's overlapping themes, they are quite distinct and different from each other. So that's been running through my mind. And also kind of what's included in this path of facilitation is kind of maybe, which is very new and uncomfortable for me, finding my voice, singing, maybe playing instruments, or whatever else, maybe also herbalism, plant knowledge about the plants, knowledge about ethnobotany, and all these fields, and kind of really developing and cultivating an authentic passion for that as being part of the path. That's been an interesting one. And how to go about it, right? Start now. What language to learn? Portuguese or Spanish? If I want to go to Peruvian jungle or to Brazilian jungle? And it's like all these questions running through my mind, because there's a lot of nuances and complexity in trying to find a teacher and somebody to learn from, and also making money on the side and trying to align that with the path. And it's like, it's a fun journey. It's a super fun journey to be able to actualize this life purpose and this long-term vision. And it's a rough journey with a lot of self-doubts, as I've shared many times on this channel before, right? So that's been coming up a lot. Again, no purge this night. Both nights no purge. That's been new for me. I have had 1 or 2 nights where I didn't purge, but throughout all my other experiences I usually purge. But I felt it curse through my body, and I felt a little bit nauseous at times, but especially with the singing, when I was starting to sing, it was kind of resonating so much that it it didn't want to come out, and that was totally fine for me. It felt like it's extending the duration of the ceremony as well. So even deep into the night, even though I just drank 1 cup at the very beginning of the night, I was still feeling the medicine very strong. And I'm guessing, I don't know, nobody knows, right? It has to do something with keeping it in and not throwing up immediately or very early in the journey. Very interesting topic, this throwing up thing, right? Throwing up early, throwing up late in the ceremony, during the ceremony, all throughout the ceremony, everything can happen. And also the ayahuasca, it can not work at all. You can feel it for 4 hours, 6 hours. You can even feel it for 12 hours or more, and be in a very intense kind of psychedelic space. And it's like, whew, how is there so much variety? It's incredible. It's very interesting field. So yeah, but eventually, after a couple of hours into the night, I got into the groove. Also, beautiful music by Manish, beautiful songs in the background, beautiful to sing and to listen also to the tracks that he chose for the ceremony. Like amazing artists, perfectly fitting for ayahuasca ceremony. It's like I was amazed by his DJing abilities as well. But he is a musical genius, right? It's absolutely wonderful, and I did resonate with the music that was playing. But yeah, I found a little bit of my center. I was like, found a little bit of more of this feeling space instead of this thinking space. A little bit of peace came with that. A little bit of bliss came with that, and a little bit of teachings and lessons came with that as well. My nose was still blocked, still very present, a little bit distracting and annoying. To feel sick during ceremony, and I said before, right, I'm dealing with some sickness, and I've been feeling that during this ceremony as well. And it's a question, right? It's an interesting question of, during ceremony, is it taking a toll on the body, and is it kind of draining it down, or is it a process of healing the body by bringing the sickness to the surface so the body can work through it, kind of. And I don't know, honestly. It could be both, because psychedelics do at times take a toll on the body, and we need to take a little bit of rest after a lot of ceremony. But also they can, I guess, bring stuff to the surface, so it is kind of, that's what a lot of plant medicine does. So it gets out of the body. That's how our body works at times, right? With the fever, we get hot, we increase body temperature, so we heal, basically. It's also a process of purification. Being sick is a part of healing. But yeah, that was distracting. Also, I got in touch a little bit with not just the love for the sickness, as in the last night where I was fully loving the sickness, but also with the sadness, allowing myself to feel sad for being sick and for having this sickness along my path, and getting in touch with that as well. Just being able to acknowledge and appreciate the sadness as well, to get in touch with that and feel that, and allow myself to feel that. Because it is sad, it is draining, it is uncomfortable to walk through life with a lot of sickness. And yeah, that's okay to feel as well, as part of the human experience. So yeah, balance again, right? Between fully appreciating and accepting and loving the sickness, but also taking steps to resolve it. And then kind of towards the end, a lot of ideas came, a lot of business ideas, a lot of like so many great ideas. It's like, this is genius. Thank you. This is genius. Or I can include this in that and this in there, and I'll develop this in this way, and I will make this recommendation to this friend and this to this. I was like, I can't even keep up with all these ideas and all these insights. And I really did have the desire to just like have an audio recording device right next to me. It's like, and capture all of these insights, because I know, right, when you sleep and then the next day and the day after, it's, they came and they go, right? They come into your mind and they go out of your mind. And it's also a lesson of not to hold on to this feeling or not to hold on to these insights too much, but to trust that the most important ones and the brilliance of some of these insights and visions and thoughts and ideas are gonna stick with my being till the next day, at least until I can write some down. But yeah, a lot of ideas, and then a lot of thinking again, and also a lot of reflecting a little bit on my path, on my life at the moment, of like feeling a little bit overwhelmed because I did a lot of travel, and a lot of travel is coming up for me this year, but also there's a little bit of a desire for staying in one place, to be able to focus on one thing and work on one thing and really make progress towards that. But yeah, just feeling through that, feeling a little bit of like how I want to structure and live my daily life, this desire for simplicity, of like really living this less is more. And I really do appreciate and love simplicity in my life. Even though all the travel and all the meetups and all the events and all the people I've been inviting into my life over the last years is also very exciting, living in a city and not being out in nature too much, but still going out in nature and travel. And it's like, whew, it's a lot. And I was allowing myself to feel a little bit overwhelmed, and to reflect on that, and to deepen my connection to my true authentic desire on how I want to live my life. So yeah, that's about it. I think I don't need to share all the business ideas. You'll see, right? This is part of it, and I'm excited to implement them and get them out there. Regarding, for example, a life coaching program for psychonauts that's coming, life purpose coaching, and that's exciting, and the online course, and a lot of different things about the content that's coming as well. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. I was thinking throughout, like, all of these ideas made me so excited that I was like, I wanted to get up and do something, but I tried to rest and sleep, and then at the end, when the ayahuasca kind of left, I was like waving goodbye, and then the thoughts started again, and they circled around. It was super weird. It was like a circle of like, oh, I have this, and I gotta do this and this and this, and then okay, breathe, relax, rest, it's time to sleep. And then next thought came, and it kind of circled around for an hour or 2 or 3, even in the same kind of circle of thoughts. And it was like, I know, I understood, and also trying to reflect and comprehend what happened last night. And it's like, I know, I understand. You can rest now, little mind. Mind is a very interesting phenomenon, and how it's trying to make sense of experiences and explain it away, overthink, understand, comprehend, put it into a structure, put it into thoughts, and just being able to observe and acknowledge and appreciate that as well, and be kind and gentle to myself, and be kind to my mind, and meet that with love as well, even though it was kind of a little bit annoying, was also beautiful. So that was second night. Not as intense as the first one, still intense, and still, even though it was not like this overflowing feeling of love and appreciation, there were also a lot of insights and a lot of beautiful music to listen to and to sing with. And that was about it. Thank you very much for watching. I guess this closes the chapter of the ayahuasca retreat with Manesh. And yeah, ayahuasca. It's It's a super interesting one. It's very much, it feels like it's really deeply connected to community, to other human beings, especially like, right, sitting in ceremony with other people, connected to the earth, connected to Pachamama, to Mother Earth, connected to humanness as well, to our experience as a human being, and what it means to really love yourself, love other people, love this life, love this earth. And that's it. And the core teaching is love. And even though it's really rough love, it's the teaching is love. At least for myself, and what I heard many facilitators and shamans say, it's like it strips everything away and it goes just into deeper and deeper layers of love, so we can embody that love and live in that love. And yeah, cleansing our body, cleansing our spirit, cleansing our mind, so we can just be love, be loving awareness. And that's beautiful. We can be infinitely grateful to the tribes who kind of figured that out and made the brew and brought it out into the world, and thankful for everybody who is doing great work. Manesh, for example, or a lot of other people who are bringing this out in the true spirit of the medicine. And it does feel like a true medicine, which is also an interesting word, right? Plant medicine, Mother Ayahuasca, whatever name we want to give it. It's a beautiful journey. Definitely not for everybody. Definitely has the potential to catapult somebody into really rough and challenging territory during and even after ceremony as well. It's not just love. It's not, it is just love, but I don't want to paint the picture that it's easy. It's not easy. It's hard work, and there's a potential to go into very deep and dark territory as well. I just wanted to mention that at the end, because oftentimes there is an overemphasis on the love and the bliss and the beautiful experiences, and that has been part of this retreat of mine as well, and really the focus of it. But at other times it's also about the darkness and the challenge, and the challenge also to integrate that at times into our daily life. So yeah, I'll leave you with a word of gratitude. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see what's coming up next. Thank you.